Yo, what's up guys, it's TheSurrealAndre, aka New Era X Saint, with my final goodbye to my collection in 2K13, MyTeam, my Gold Legend collection. It will be hard to say goodbye to this collection because I literally have almost everybody I want. Honestly, there's only like 5 players that I really wish I could have other than the ones that I have now, so let's really look into it. Magic, honestly, I wasn't really that hyped for Magic. I mean, if I wanted a bigger point guard, because some people like to play Magic at the 4, if I wanted a bigger point guard, I would have gotten Darren Williams, because he is like the bulldog point guard of the league. Like he backs other smaller point guards down, and I love Darren Williams. So yeah, Oscar Robinson, I didn't use him much, but when I got him I was really hyped because like he's the big O. He has really good stats. He basically has like a lowered version of LeBron's stats. Well, no, that's a terrible comparison, but I'd use him like LeBron. Like, you can pull up from mid-range sometimes. He finishes well inside. His passing is absolutely amazing, and he can rebound well. So, like, he's kind of like a point guard LeBron. I'll put it that way. Yeah, that's not a bad comparison. Isaiah Thomas. No, I wasn't that big of a Zeke fan because I hated how he used the Knicks. I hated how he coached the Knicks, but when it comes down to it, Isaiah Thomas was an amazing player. Yo, I've watched some of his tapes. There's this video that I haven't watched but I heard about, but I really want to see if there's a clip of it. I can't find it on YouTube, but there's a video of Isaiah, because he was a major shit talker because he was on the badass Detroit Pistons. So there's a video of Isaiah, this white guy on the Celtics guarding Isaiah. I think it was the Celtics, but then it was in a close game scenario, I believe. And Isaiah had a wicked handle, so he like started to break the guy down, and he was doing some dribble moves, and then he went in, pulled back, and the guy fell. And instead of going to finish a layup or making a play, Isaiah pulled back, signaled to him to get up and come guard him again, and Isaiah bopped him again, and he fell, and then Isaiah scored. So after hearing about that clip, it made me want to use Isaiah more, but by now it's too late. So I wouldn't mind getting Isaiah in next year and get still to the way. Jerry West, I didn't get to use him much, but I'd love to have him in 2K14. Honestly, Jerry West is probably my favorite point guard in the whole game, next to the Hardaways. Really. And here comes Tim. Honestly, his finishing ability really should be better. It's because he's so small, honestly, but he should have. This is the annoying thing. It's because he's so small, not the fact that he's barely 6 feet tall, but he's really lightweight. Like, he's 175. Like, most point guards in the league nowadays are like, what, like 180, 190, something like that. I mean, that's not far off of a difference, but still, he's really small, and they need to change the finishing ability on him because he was a really good finisher in traffic. I mean, really, he has 92 layup, and his shot inside should be a little better. And at least have shot creator or something, because, I mean, his shooting stats are high, but I don't know, I think it's weird using him. Like, you should be able to score easier using him, but other than that, he's amazing. Steals are up, passing is great, I have no complaints. Walt Frazier, one of my favorite players of all time. I'm sad that I wasn't old enough to watch him play. I don't know, yo. I don't know if it's just because me being a Knicks fan, I didn't use him that much. It's like he's like a novelty item for me, basically. He's like a novelty, but I should use him more. I wouldn't mind having him either. And Penny fucking Hardaway. If you're one of the people lucky enough to have Penny Hardaway, you know that he is, like, literally, just put finisher and posterize on him, he will dunk on everybody. And that's not even the reason I like him. I love Penny Hardaway as a player. If it wasn't for injuries, Penny Hardaway could have gone down as one of the point guard greats. He was like 6'7", well, yeah, 6'7". He was a big dude, yo. And he had amazing finishing ability. In the normal game, they don't even have him with finisher or posterizer or anything. But he was an amazing dunker. Penny fucking Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, Tim Hardaway, and Jerry West. The 3-point guards that I wish could carry over. Terry Porter, he was a good player for the Blazers. He was with Clyde Drexler. He's a great shot. He was alright to use. He would heat up for me in a couple of games that I'd play. Mark Price, honestly, in my opinion, the best shooter in the game, hands down. He's up there with Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's shot is like, even though it's in the 90s, you'll miss weird shit with him. I don't know if it's just me, but Mark Price, honestly, I think the best shooting stats in the game. 93, 3, 90 medium, and I think his shoot off dribble is like 90 as well. 95. I say Mark Price is the best shooter in the game by far. Well, not by far, but you know what I mean. And then his passing is extremely high. I love Mark Price. Mo Cheeks, complete defensive specialist. Honestly, I didn't use him once in a game. I used him in an exhibition, but I didn't use him in like a real game. Complete defensive specialist. I think defense comes first, but I don't know. It's just like literally all he could do is defend. Like literally, he would barely make a layup if you put him in any kind of traffic. So, but complete defensive specialist. He could play off ball and let Mo Cheeks lock anybody up. Muggsy Bogues, he's kind of a novelty item as well. He's not really that fun to play with because of his size, but he can get some real good steals and some cool finishes every now and again. DJ Dennis Johnson, I didn't use him much as well, but he's actually an underrated finisher. I was finishing some really good shit on the inside when I'd use him in like random games, so yeah. KC Jones, basically the same thing as Mo Cheeks. And Henry Bibby, nothing too special, just a decent good shot, like shot some threes, some mid-range, and he actually has a cool handle. That's why I gave him ankle breaker. He can really break people down. Silvers I won't really get into. Steve Kerr, shooter. Robert Pack, dunker. Kenny Smith, great shot. Nate McMillan was this is one of the most underrated silvers in this game. Nate McMillan, he's a complete lockdown defender and great at, I think he has 99 steals. So yeah, Bobby Jackson is a good silver player all around, can shoot pretty fast, he is great athletic. And Earl Monroe, honestly I think should have been a goal legend. They really underrated his jump shot and I think that's what held him back. So let's get to the twos. I'll kind of fly through this because the video is getting long. Michael Jordan, you know Michael. I don't want to say anything about Michael, but I. Honestly, if there was one person I wish could carry over in 2K14 in my collection, it would be AI. It would be close between him and Jerry West, but it would be AI. Honestly, I love him. I can use him as a 1 or a 2, and I can use him as a distraction and let people think I'm going off with him and go off with somebody else, or just go off with him because he's unstoppable. I, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Dumars, very underrated. Well, no, not underrated, but I didn't use him as much as I should have. Literally lockdown defender, 99 defense, high steal, and he has a wicked jump shot. He's just really undercover. Paul Pressey, the original point forward that invented the position. His pass is like 90, his dunks is 90, layups is 90. You could really just use him exactly like LeBron, honestly, and he's a very big body. It doesn't seem like it's 6'5", 185, but he's a big body when you use him. Eddie fucking Jones. I think Eddie Jones was my first goal legend ever, the original friggin' posterizer, and his shot just didn't fall a lot for me, even though it was in the 80s, but Eddie Jones, lockdown defender, great finisher, great shot. Gail Goodrich, great friggin' shot. I didn't get to pair him with Jerry West as much as I like to, but oh well. Michael Cooper, MC squared, lockdown defender. Honestly, he's up there with Joe Dumars, and he has a great shot as well. Nick, supposedly called the Brick Anderson. Honestly, I didn't think his jump shot was that bad. He was a great shot for me. With the microwave and heat retention traits as well, if you use those on shooters, it really helps, especially with people like Nick and Hersey who tend to miss a lot. So yeah, John Starks. Now you wonder why I have finisher on John Starks. John Starks, if you check his dunk packages, John Starks has really athletic dunk packages, and if you gave him finisher, he could finish over people a lot of the time. He has some really good dunks, and then I gave him microwave and Deadeye because he has an amazing three-point shot as well. Jeff Hornacek, I believe, was my second goal legend ever, if not the third. And Deadeye shot creator, that's it. All he does is shoot, and you can just do some pick and roll, pick and pops with him sometimes. Kendall Gill, one of the people I was searching for, an amazing finisher, great dunk packages. Love Kendall Gill, and he's a defensive specialist as well. Percy Hawkins, like I said, same thing with Nick. He doesn't miss a lot for me, so that's why I took off heat retention, gave him interceptor because his steals are in the 90s. Yep. And Byron Scott, one of the crappiest goal legends in the game. His stats are actually higher in the real game and lower in MyTeam. I don't know why. If his stats were higher like they were in the real game, then he would be a decent goal legend. Then you see Del Curry and Drazen. I love Drazen Petrovic. People don't use him as much as Del, even though he was a better shooter than Del in real life. And Hubert Davis, 95 three-pointer, a bronze, so people don't really look at him sometimes. And Vernon Maxwell, great three-point shot, and he's a lockdown defender as well. Played with Hakeem Olajuwon. All right. Next, Larry Bird. I didn't use Larry Bird much. Actually, I used him a bit more when before I started recording, and I was going through the seats for the first time, and he was on my championship, quote unquote championship team. Dominique fucking Wilkins, I got some good games in with him. I mean, I wasn't searching for him because I think he was cheesy. People that use him because all they do is dunk, and they don't know that he can actually shoot mid-range and post up. But Dominique fucking Wilkins, I got some great dunks with him. I'd love to use him again in 2K14. Bob Dandridge, didn't use him that much. He was basically just a decent shot. He's just a rotation guy in my opinion. Nothing too special. Decent athleticism, that's it. Lou Hudson. If you want pull-up jump shots, especially in mid-range, this was the guy. He could finish well too, but honestly, this guy was literally just... He was my replacement for not having Chris Mullin, basically. I meant to say that. At the 2, I don't think I'd want anybody else at the 2. I got AI and that's it. But at the 1, if there was any one that I wish I could have gotten, it was probably GP. Yeah, I wish I could have gotten GP. Yeah, I mean there was somebody else on my mind, but I forgot, so I'll just go with GP. At the 2, nobody really, but at the 3, I wish I could have got Mullin. I really love Chris Mullin, but Lou Hudson was my replacement for Chris Mullin. There we go, James the Troll-worthy. You know what he can do, post up and finish down low. Jerome Kersey, honestly, I think the worst goal legend in the game. Literally all he can do is dunk, and he can't do it that well because his shoot in traffic isn't that high. So yeah, it's only 72, so you can't really posterize people. So all he can do is dunk. Worst goal legend in the game in my opinion. LaFonso Ellis is better than him for those of you who know what I'm talking about. Detlef Schrempf, a really good 3-4 because he can shoot and he can move him to the floor. He can spread the floor and become a 4. And I gave him brick wall because he's actually a decent post-up game. So Detlef Schrempf. Mark Aguirre, not really that good either. He's decent at finishing down low. His post game isn't that great, not really polished, but he's a big body. You can look at him even in his picture. You can see how brolic he is. 6'6", 232. That's the size. He has the height of a forward, but the body of a center. Larry Nance, one of the best dunkers in the game. I didn't get that many posterized dunks with him, but he was still pretty good. And George Gervin, I think he was my second or third goal legend ever. It was him, Eddie Jones, and Jeff Hornacek. They were the original goal legend big 3 that I had. George Gervin, literally best layups. Like next to LeBron, this guy has the best layups in the game. Finisher and acrobat. He doesn't really posterize much, but I give it to him just because he has a high shoot in traffic and his dunk was high, but he doesn't have good dunk packages. But George Gervin, yo, some guy lit me up for like 40 with him before I got goal legends. And Big Shot Bob, have him just as a novelty, and rookie Gerald Wallace as novelty for dunks. Carl the Mailman Malone. Oh god. It's between him and LJ as to who I wish I could transfer over at the 4s in 2K14, but Carl fucking Malone didn't let me down once. As soon as I got him, love him so much. Best power forward of all time in my opinion. Fuck ring logic. I don't believe in ring logic. George McGinnis, also, he was my first, I think, goal legend power forward. He has 99 strength, brick walls, work every time when I run a play, and his finishing inside is great. And he has some decent dunks, and he's pretty athletic even though it doesn't seem that way. But yeah, he can run on fast bricks as well. L fucking J Larry Johnson x Nick. His finishing ability is amazing, and the thing about him is, especially if you have someone on the floor with floor general, his shot is very good. You can really pull. You can use him like a way more athletic version of Chris Bosh. Like he can shoot, because floor general will push those stats up. His threes will be like a 80. His shot mid-range will be like a 85. And then his inside is even better. And his dunks are up there. He has amazing dunk packages for a power forward. He can do the 360 dunks. His passing is at 80. Honestly, it's between him and Carl as to who I want to transfer over in the next game. It's just his defensive stats aren't really that great. Dave DeBuscher, extremely underrated in this game. Dave DeBuscher was an absolute gem for the Knicks on that championship team. Honestly, he's more of an all-around kind of 4, but his offensive stats really needed to be boosted. He's a defensive specialist in this game. That's basically it. Rudy LaRusso, literally just like a paperweight at the 4. He's there to grab boards and use brick wall when I need him to. I never used him. Tom Sanders can defend any position in this game, hands down, and extremely athletic, can finish on putbacks and alley-oops. Horace Grant is basically a rebounder putback, and has a really nice mid-range too. Even though it's only a 78, it's actually very underrated. Otis Thorpe, basically a rebounder and a putback as well. Didn't use him much. Bill Bridges. unbelievably good at rebounding. I think it's 99 for both. He's a great defender in the post, and he's an amazing dunker. You can finish on fast breaks with him. Bill Bridges, he's a great coming off the bench kind of forward. If I had gotten him next year, I would definitely come off the bench with him. Tom Heinsohn, basically, he was just a shooting forward. That's it. Nothing special. No athleticism. And LaFonso Ellis, supposedly the worst forward in the game, worst goal legend in the game. I don't think so. Jerome Kersey is that guy because all he can do is dunk and not do it that well. LaFonso Ellis at least has a 92 shot inside, 75 dunk, and 75 layup, and his dunk packages are good. So if you were to give him finisher, I didn't because I'm not going to use him, but if you were to give him finisher, he could really finish on the inside most of the time, and he can rebound as well. John Williams, also called the worst forward in the game, worst goal legend in the game. That is not true because he has a good inside, so if you give him finisher, he will finish inside. But other than that, here's the thing, you have to use him the right way. Block is a 90. I gave him a racer, right? I gave him a racer. Block is a 90. You can really protect the rim with him if you play off ball. And not to mention this, post fadeaway and post to car are 80, so if you give him post proficiency, it increases those stats when you do post moves. So he's not that bad. He's better than LaFonso and better than Jerome Kersey. So yeah. At the 4, if there's one person I wish I could have got, it was probably Sean Kemp, definitely. But I'm very comfortable with LJ and Karl Malone. Those are my favorites throughout this whole 4 collection. And to finish off at the centers, Shaquille O'Neal. Honestly, if only he could shoot free throws, Shaq would definitely be my favorite center. It's just when I get hacked or when 2K just decides to call fouls and give me leaning layups, that's when Shaq gets annoying. I know his free throw form, but honestly, you can't get it all the time, so, you know. But honestly, you couldn't ask for more with Shaq. 99 inside, 90 close. Fuck shooting. He doesn't need to shoot. He's too dominant. His dunks should have been higher. His dunks should have been at least 80, in my opinion. Maybe a 75 going towards that, because Shaq was really a good dunker. He really was. Low post offense should have been at least a 90, in my opinion. Low post defense is fine. Blocks are fine because Shaq really is. He was a great blocker. He averaged 2 throughout his whole rookies campaigns. Rebounds are great because that's all. Shaq was just so dominant, and his strength was 99. Honestly, Shaq, I love you. Patrick the Mustard fucking chewing. I didn't use him that much, but same thing with Patrick. Honestly, at 94 inside, 90 close, and he could light it up. He was basically my Hakeem Olajuwon because I never got Hakeem. That was basically what he was. Did everything Hakeem could do, but Hakeem could just do it better. Robert Parrish was my first gold center of all time. He was on my quote-unquote championship team that I won the first seed with for the first time. He's basically like Patrick, but not that great of a shooter. He could finish inside. His blocks aren't that high as a 75, but because he's so big, you could really get a lot more blocks with him and protect the rim. And his post fadeaway was really high. Yep, 93. That's around Patrick's. Willis Reed, underrated stats in this game. I don't know, and if you'll use that 70s Knicks championship team, you will really destroy people because their roster was great overall. But some of their players really should have been upgraded, like DeBusschere and Willis. Willis's shot inside and close are decent. His mid-range, that's fair because he was a good shooting big man. But it's just, I don't know, he doesn't feel as dominant as he really was, in my opinion. Just like Elgin Baylor. They should have put the young version of Elgin Baylor in this game, or in my team at least, because Elgin Baylor was something else. Willis Reed, good block, great at blocking. He was basically an all-around great center. I'd start him, basically, and he was undersized too. He was only 6'9". Brad Doherty, I didn't use him that much, but he was that guy. He was really that guy. He was the friggin' shit for the Cavaliers back in the day, so I've heard. 96 inside and close, and he can shoot a little mid-range. Get somebody with floor general on the court, and he'll knock it down all the time. Just no athleticism. That's the thing about him. He has no athleticism at all, and he couldn't defend for shit. So he was all offense. If you needed an offensive center, this was the guy. And then to finish out, let's go to Bill Laimbeer. I love Bill Laimbeer in this game, honestly, just because he was Kevin Love before it was cool. Me and my friends, when we play private team up, I like to use him when we use the Pistons because I love using big men that can shoot. I don't know, that's how I'm versatile. I like big men like Shaq, like the down low dominant ones, but I love big men that can shoot. it allows me to play how I want. I could go down low when I want, and then I could shoot and step out when I want. Kind of change things up on the defense every now and again. But he was a great rebounder. Inside and close aren't that high because he was just like basically the pick and pop big man with Isaiah and Joe Dumars. But yeah, Bill Laimbeer, honestly, I could play him at the 4 or the 5. I prefer the 4 because I like my 5 to stay down low. My 4s can go out and spread the floor. So Bill Laimbeer, if you have him, you might think he's shit, but he's really not. Especially you could put brick wall on him and run plays because his strength is pretty high. I think it's like in the 80s. Couldn't find it, but fuck it. And Dikembe Mutombo to end my collection. Dikembe Mutombo, all he was there for was to just protect the rim and be a defensive anchor and grab boards because his rebounding, I think, was both 90. Yep, 95, 99. His shot inside was really low. I mean, if they had the Nuggets version of Dikembe when he was a rookie or in his rookie years, that would have been better because he could finish a little better on the inside and he had a little more athleticism to him. So he was more of just a rim protector here. They need to do something with Eraser in 2K14. I haven't really looked into new signature skills. Well, I have. I did a video on it, but I don't know what they did with Eraser. They need to make it, because all Eraser does is lowers their stats if you block the shot. It needs to give a better chance to block the shot or to block dunks, because that will give it an actual purpose. Honestly, I just gave him Eraser for the novelty item, because Eraser only allows you to send it away with a little more emphasis. So it's just for fun and shits and giggles. But anyway, the one center that I wish I could have had probably will end up being David Robinson. It was kind of a tie between him and Bill Russell because Bill Russell was a lot more athletic, so I could run with him, but probably end up being David Robinson. Yeah, David Robinson at the 5, Sean Kemp at the 4, Chris Mullin at the 3. What the hell is my control doing that? At the 2, honestly, I have a lot of 2 guards, yo. I have a really abundance of 2 guards. I don't know, honestly, at the 2 who else I'd want. I don't know. Maybe Mullin, get Mullin, and then put him at the 2. Oh no. Mitch Richmond. Mitch fucking Richmond. That's what I was looking for. Mitch Richmond at the 2. That's the 1-2 guard that I wish I could have gotten. And then Mullin at the 3. Maybe Mullin or fuck. Now I lost my train of thought. I forgot who else I was going to say at the 3. Oh, Pippen. Pippen needs to be in my team. It was between Pippen or Mullin who I'd want at the 3 for who I couldn't have gotten. And Mitch Richmond at 2, and at the 1, more than likely GP. Definitely a GP. So, yeah, if you were counting, my Legend collection did round up to about 56 in all. And I don't know, yo. Only wish that some of these could carry over, or if you could just pick at least one to carry over in 2K14's MyTeam, but you can only dream and wish. So yeah, guys, especially to you guys who did follow my pack opening series when I only had like 20 or 30 legends, and it got up to this, chasing after Jerry West. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do a shitload of pack openings and giveaways and new series in 2K14, which is only what, like 4 days away. I can't wait, guys. I'll try to get at least 1 or 2 videos out that night. Probably just 1, because you guys are going to be playing like me. I won't have time to watch shit. So yeah, and definitely the day after I'll have a shitload of videos out. So thanks for watching. Over 56 legends, including Mr. fucking Iverson, who I got 3 times. Yep, that's right. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Can't wait for 2K14. Peace.